Tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, they're determined to begin the season as winners, to make all their offseason planning and hard work in the preseason pay off. You know what they say, you only get one chance to start the season with a win, and tonight is their chance. And fellas, a new
We've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the San Antonio Spurs. And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, Kevin, Kawhi Leonard has been a great defender from day one, but he has developed into an elite offensive player as well. Now, Greg Popovich says he basically tells me what he wants to do now. He knows he has a green light. I think that's the difference. He's more confident, more aggressive, more hungry to score than in the past. Kevin?
And they need him to be that way, D.A. Thank you, especially after Tim Duncan's retirement and Manu and TP getting older. This is Kawhi's team now, for sure. Doris, we may not see a lot of small ball this evening. Two teams that are deadly operating on the blocks. How have they been successful with that, where other teams haven't?
Well, it's fascinating, Kev, because from a personnel standpoint, they have ability to live up to the #1 pick label. This guy's a franchise talent no matter how you look at him. And range jumper consistently.
Green dishes to Leonard. Duncan with the screen for Leonard. Off the pick. And Duncan with the layup.
And where's the help?
Towns dishes to Wiggins. Over Leonard. And the rejection by Leonard.
And a sensational individual defender.
And here is Parker. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Leonard. That's basket number 2 with his third.
Hardest thing.
I always say broadcasting a basketball game is like a running conversation between two people because there's so much scoring and the rhythm and the flow of the game just lend itself.
At its best, you're 100% correct.
And guys, that's one of the more basic.
The 3, and it's Leonard. That time on an assist by Ginobili. And 11 points for Cole.
I think they believe the infusion of veteran talent gives them an opportunity to make the leap and get to the postseason.
And they can't allow him too many open looks. 9th in scoring and ranked in the top 15 in free throw percentage. Tremendous confidence and technique at the line.
He takes it the other way.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
Yep, that one goes in there.
Well,
he got up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs holding on an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. A good-sized advantage and a look to increase it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing outside. David.
Kevin, so much. Why you seem to be so at ease out there? How much is that helping your game?
It's helping me out a lot. Just in the game, relax, just with more intensity. I mean, my teammates are getting me involved on the offensive end. I'm playing great on defense. We just got to keep it up second half and not let it up.
Hey, Kawhi, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have an exhilarated home crowd joining us for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaq. The story early on was Kawhi Leonard, who was on fire. He ended up with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, you know, a lot of people call him the Claw, but I call him Sugar K. He seized control in the first half. Kawhi Leonard might be the best two-way player in the game. He hardly ever smiles, but his coaches are smiling, and so am I, baby.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
I felt they had a lack of intensity defensively. They gave up way too many threes. I mean, somebody needs to pull out the fire hose because this fire is out of control, and it certainly was because of the defense.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a...
Leonard with the steal, and now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And busting it up the floor. Leonard showing a lot of energy on the fast break. If there's one thing he doesn't...
Screen by Duncan. A three from Leonard. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. And now 24 points for Kawhi Leonard. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Wiggins. Shot clock at 6. Out to the wing. Parker with a clean look. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Amidst the tall players in one season, how about he almost led the league in points in the paint, a surefire Hall of Famer.
And here's Towns over Duncan, off target. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
You